All right, let's see what we got. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure having you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And in this channel here, to give is to receive, or the power of words. What I do pretty much as a spiritual healer overall. Well, by the way, I have two channel, another one that I just go by the name of Lespri. So essentially what I do, as a spiritual healer, I help you to become Christ-like, Buddha-like, Krishna-like. And what this is implying is, I help you to attain your highest level of awareness and also self-understanding. And that's what the Christ consciousness is all about. But in this channel here, the method that I use, I use what I call the power of words, and this is what we're going to be talking about in just a second. So you guys understand what I mean by the power of words. But essentially, I use the power of words here to help you to bring enlightenment to you, to help you to attain your highest level of awareness or understanding. But the method we use here, we use what I call the power of words, and that's what we're going to be talking about shortly. All right. Give me a second here and get my tea. But you are most likely welcome. You know, um, welcome, motherfucker, welcome. So it's been a minute since I posted on this channel because I've been on that other channel. But check out both of them. There's a lot of gems. A lot of things for you. Because as a spiritual healer, I'm here to serve you. And ultimately doing God's work, we are all serving each other. This is why we are all one. This is what the community is all about. hmm Okay, so it is my pleasure and an honor to serve you motherfuckers. You bitch asses, you know what I'm saying? But before I get my little, you know what? Let me get started because I'm feeling it. It's in the air. It's in the air. Happy Wednesday. Just so you guys know too, man. If you smoke a little thing, grab that. A little drink. I'm having a little tea myself. We're keeping it clean. You know what I'm saying? A little herbal tea. You know what I'm saying? And precisely, it's matcha. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. It does what it does. I already had my mushroom coffee. You know what I'm saying? And now we're just having a little bit of tea, man. We're mixing it up. A little bit of herb. We're staying high. We're keeping it light, baby. Keeping it light. That's what we're doing. As providing these delicious meals for your mind. hmm You gotta feed yourself, man. You gotta feed your mind. But anyway, going back to the whole aspect of what we do here and how we do it, the power of words. So most people, for the most part, when people are speaking of the power of words, they always use the example of this Chinese guy, right, who had I think it was flowers or water, whatever the fuck, right? Essentially, this is what it was. Whatever object he had, the same object, he was using one in one instance, he's saying I love you, and over here, fuck you. So now when people are referring to power of words, they're referring to how, this one here, you're saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then how it's flourishing, it's looking good, it's whatever the fuck, the water is healthier. If it's plant, it's growing, whatever the fuck. And then on the flip side of that, the one that they're cursing, keep that in mind because that's exactly what it is. So that's why to me, when we're talking about the power of word, it's not the meaning of a word because what you're seeing in that little experiment, at least, for my Haitian mind, okay, we just got to keep it fair. We're not claiming to know everything, okay, but what we're saying is, what that appears to me more like, right? So when you're using different words with the intention that you have and the frequency that you're putting into the word, then you get the results of that. And that's what people who uses an energy weapon, people who are cursing you, that's what they do. They use certain words and they emphasize on it. They sending that energy to you. So to me, it sounds more on that side, more of a spell to show you not necessarily how powerful your words are, but how powerful you are. Because those words are being used, and it's the frequency and the intention, the energy that you're putting into it. So to me, that's not necessarily the power of words. It's revealed pretty much how, you are pretty much exude, like, somehow projecting your power through words. Now, the power of words in itself, now that's something that's totally different. Okay, that is a different ballgame. Now, when we're talking about the true power of words, to me, that's what you see when you hear certain sermon. That's what you hear in certain motivational or certain quotes, the way it hits you. Now, I don't know if you ever heard the saying, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. That's the true power of words. Like, just by me saying this, I don't have to say much more. And there's nothing that I could say if I'm trying to explain what's understood doesn't have to be explained would somehow make it better. In fact, it would be better for me after I saying what's understood doesn't have to be explained for me to shut the fuck up. And yet, there's a lot that's being said in a short period of time, and it provokes something else in you. It releases certain things in you. This is why, for me, when I'm talking about the power of words, it's not a meaning or the intention you put in a word, but it's how those words are being put together. That's what you see in poetry. That's what you see in lyricism. That's what you see in quotes. So even though it's one thing that you will see in common here, everything I just mentioned just now, they are all different in their own ways. But the one thing in common you'll see is that it's the way these things are being said. That's the one underlying thing that link all of these things together. Quotes, poetry, and then you really get to experience the power of words. That's what I call the power of words. You never hear certain quotes that you weren't really paying attention to, and then somehow after you hear it, it talks to you. It talks to your soul. It kind of like release something in you. Again, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. Wisdom is wisdom regardless of where it comes from. All of those little quotes, how they're being said, how they're being put together, it reveals a lot more than what I can say to you just by the way that they're being said. This is why a lot of great speakers, they understand that. They use word association, what you call rhyme, because it's easy for people to remember, but also it speaks to you in a certain way. Now that's the fucking power of words. And you can also feel it independently from what the word is saying. Then now you know it's not just the meaning of a word, but it's what it resurrects in you. It excites certain things. It somehow, or if you already, you know what I'm saying, it demand your fucking attention without your permission. That's the power of words. Hmm. Do you understand? So that's why for me, I'm not stuck in, let's just say nigga, not saying nigga, or not using profanities, using profanity. Hey, okay. You know what I'm saying? up with the great education. You know what I'm saying? Those are just another way of mind fucking too. Mind control, meaning a proper way of you saying things. And this is why hip hop and so many words speak to so many people because through the power of words, because it's more than just words. And the way these lyrics or whatever the fuck is being said, that's where the magic is taking place. That's the excitement. There's a guy, Rumi, another, oh man. By the way, as you see in the title here, what I'm going to be talking about, I got to shout out all the fucking ancestors. This is actually a saying that is said in the Bible. However, the first time I heard it was from a spiritual master, man. My man Sifri Manel, and it was also a pleasure to meet him, not physically, but in one of my travels. And it was very exciting to see that he also knows me, and I'm like, Nate, I must be doing something good, Nate. And he called me by sir too. Oh my God, he fuck up my mind. I love you, King. Thank you very much. All of my fucking ancestors, all the guys, all the spirit around me. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors, my true family, my grandmother, my mom, everybody. You already know. You know what I'm saying? We 10 toes down, baby. We're solid. We ain't going nowhere. You heard? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a different appreciation too. As you grow older, so they say, then you get to realize everything that your family, your parents have done for you, good or bad. I mean, necessarily, even, well, good, I mean, specifically, that's what I'm referring to. Then you have a different type of appreciation for them. As I'm growing myself, even with my guides, building stronger connections and understanding that world. Oh my God, man, you grow a lot more appreciation. The love is just unconditional. You know what I'm saying? It's like I learned the type of love, like, that is not, man, it's like, that is not immediate. Like the true love that's like, that do things that works for you, but not necessarily to please you. That type of love, that's what you get from the fucking ancestors. And that's the true love because, that's the love that really, that's why, it's almost like when you see your kid, right, they are learning how to walk. You gotta let them fall, but at the same time, you're there to help them. That's that type of love. Like, get yourself up. I'm here. I'm here. I know. But yeah, you gotta fall, but you gotta keep yourself up. And listen, man. And that's the ultimate love right there, man. This is where you're not projecting yourself, nor are they projecting themselves on you, but allowing you to grow as you are. Thank you, motherfuckers. That's my guides and all of you motherfuckers, man. I love you fuckers. I do. Thank you. And when you really get to see these things, and it's like, even though in the physical it didn't manifest for me that way, but then again, as I got to know who I am and get to see this world from a different perspective, I was always loved, man. I was always protected. I was always loved. These motherfuckers, man, they love me too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though in my particular instance, I was illegally kidnapped or adopted, however you want to put it, but the love they had for me, regardless of what happened, to make sure that I was fine, like, I was always loved, man. You know? And for me, it's like, well, shit. First of all, I don't even know why I'm telling you motherfuckers all of that. But I guess with the fucking ancestors too. This is more for the fucking ancestors to show you, oh man, I mean, it's up and it's stuck. I'm saying? I'm putting charges on all of these motherfuckers, all the fucking archangels, and all of these motherfuckers who's riding with me. I'm putting charges on all of you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? All the great people, man. And with my circumstance, I got, the niggas being investigated. You know what I'm saying? Protected. You know what I'm saying? All you good motherfuckers too, who's watching this and protecting and understanding what. Oh man, thank you too, niggas. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. The fuck you think this was? Nah, Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every man. You know what I'm saying? You must bear the fruit of your labor, man. Like, you're gonna have to answer your action. That's why you are the one judging yourself too when you get it. You know what I'm saying? It was you. But anyway. So again, thank you for all the spirit guides, my ancestors, and all that shit, man. They already know what's up, but just like I told them, man, I'm making this public, man. Fuck y'all niggas. We've been in the closet for a very long time now. Hmm. They gonna know who we are. They gonna know who we are. But anyway, you can't hide this, man. They. How do you hide the sun? Do you see what I'm saying? Even when you that's why you have eclipse. Even when you put something in front of it to try to, you know what I'm saying, you're still gonna see the reflection. But anyway, that was a side note. Now going back to the true power of words, like this is what we're talking about here, man. This is where you really get to see how the life in the word, man. I know for me, as a young, when I first started, I was dropped off in the fucking war zone, bro. But this is good. This is why I always tell people, man, you got everything that you need. And this is why all of the so-called chosen ones, or a lot of you have to go through your lessons. This is why you have to adopt the Godhead mentality. Your manifestation is going to be your transformation. That's why fuck manifestation, you have to transform. And that's what being born again is all about. A lot of us we started in areas that we did not belong in. That's why you'll see, maybe like myself, I've been exposed with a bunch of fucking douchebags, man. Like people who don't know what love is, they don't know how to love, like total opposite of who I am. Now pay attention, this is all playing a big part in what we're talking about here. As you look at the title, the wolf and the lamb will lay or shall be together or will lay down together, whichever one you use. It doesn't matter. Either the Bible said, wolf, lion. Do you get the point? The point here is that you're looking at two opposite force. You're looking at a predator and a prey. Because generally speaking, the wolf will fucking eat the lamb. But we're gonna talk about the different interpretation of that. But most importantly, the very act of having different interpretation of that is also revealing the power of words to it's also revealing the power of words, but also your perception of it too. And this is where esoteric knowledge now comes in. Because what you looking at the lamb and the lion, obviously, if you take it literal, I don't know what to say. Well, I do know what to say, but it's like at this point you're just beyond me. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but this is how excited I am, but not just, for this conversation, but as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I got shit to be grateful for. Shit. Hmm. So, yeah, so going back to the power of words again, it's not, it's how things are being said, and that's what you see in poetry again, it's the format, it's how these things are being said together. And now, and what, once they are being put together and what's being, and how, not only it's how they're being said, what is like, it's a whole lot when you're talking about the power of words, man. But also you can independently see how the word is working you out. So for me, going back to when I was telling you about that little bit of a story in terms of, being dropped off, in a war zone, the opposites, right? You see that all across, and then you could also talk about, the law of gender. I'm trying to get you to see there's a pattern in life, good and bad, that all go hand in hand. So then again, I'm just showing you how a simple statement, there's a lot that's being said here. So going back to the power of words too, and how these things are being put together, there's a wealth of wisdom in those statements that you had to decipher. And there's a wealth of there's multiple ways you can go about this. The lion or the wolf will lay down with the lamb. You have different interpretations of it. Various. Some people say, hey, the lamb is Jesus. So the lion, he was powerful. Now he came to us weak. However you want to put it. But also but however you choose to translate it, you are dealing with the law of opposites here too. That must comes together. Man, so much that's being said here. And another aspect of, again, the power of words, man. That's why those quotes, you need to have them. You constantly, like, I know for me, I feed on them shits every day. Especially when I hear certain things and it unlock other things in me too. Like for me, a lot of those quotes, I use them, oh shit, a free game, as a meditative tool. Like that alone, you could meditate on that and seeing how it would expand your consciousness too, your understanding. That's what people say, what I'm saying? I was reading this last night and, I slept on it. But really, you're not really slipping on it. But I understand what they mean by slipping on it too. It's kind of like, that's that other phase too. That's how you tap into certain things too. But anyway, that's that. Man, let me get my shit. The Okay, so let's just summarize, the power of words here, just so you know what we're doing here. Because what I'm saying, I want you to understand what we're doing here. And as we're doing so, then it become meaningful to you. And then you understand not just what I'm doing, but the power of that. I'm saying I'm your teacher's teacher, man. I'm giving you the blueprint. And it's my pleasure. It's an honor. Hmm. Now get your motherfucking life better, nigga. Go on. Do better. Be better. To do better. For you to do, you have to be. See, these are the things that you need to know about you. This is why any knowledge that is not pertaining to you or how you work is irrelevant. It's not helping you. This is why you need to understand the mental aspect of nature, of your environment. Like when you look at life, what do you see? There is good, there is evil. In nature, there is what you call the organic food, and then what the poison also organically poisonous too, motherfucker. So in nature shows you good and bad, but yet they all comes together. That's important for you to understand. Because now when you understand that in nature, what you're doing, that's why you need to think the way God think. What that simply means is now you see that understanding in nature, that mental aspect, now you adapt that same mentality into your own fucking life. Just like, hey man, that's what metaphysics is. The same thing that takes place in physics, they also take place into your life. Now, metaphysics is going beyond physics. This is also the essence of esoteric knowledge. This is why when we're talking about the lamb and the fucking lion or wolf, whichever one you choose, they will lay down together. It's not meant for you to take it literal. And if you do take it literal, well, guess what, my friend? I mean, shit. I guess your grandkids will let you know because we haven't seen it coming together yet. But guess what? When they come together, they will be ruled by who? Oh, I forgot to mention that. I'll probably have to put that in there too. They will be ruled by a child, a little child. I mean, for so those of you who like, those book references, you know what I'm saying? It's in Isaiah, some shit, 41, whatever. You could Google that because if it's not listed in the Bible, obviously, I get it. It's not true. I get it. I truly do. You know what I'm saying? You might need to get out. You know what I'm saying? If you find yourself in that box, hey man, it might be time for you to get out. You know what I'm saying? So it's said on purpose. So, and this is what Jesus also understood. That's why we speak in parable too. The power of words, we understand it has to be said that way, not to hide the wisdom. In fact, it's for those who're supposed to find it will find it. There is a certain way that I know for me when I heard certain things, it got me to think. I know the first time I heard, I'll give you a perfect example. When Jesus said, if somebody smack you in this cheek, you turn the other cheek. Like the minute I heard it, I'm like, nah, it cannot be literal. And in fact, it's not. Although I didn't know what it meant, but the way it was put together led me to like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Because God is not stupid, bro. Hey, trust and believe. It's not being a sheep. It's not being weak. It's none of that. So the essence of esoteric knowledge is helping you, not necessarily to hide it from you. Now, those who don't understand it, they will never get it. Then it would be that for them. It would be detrimental to those it's supposed to be detrimental to. This is why the same word gives life to some and gives death to others. It's through the power of words, but also that is able to unlock, either release something in you or put you more in that cage. And that's what we understand. That's why esoteric understanding and knowledge, us, we understand why we need to say things a certain way. if you really want to get a little bit deeper into that. Oh, I'm definitely on one right now. But there's no need for me to go all the way out. At times, what I'm saying, I tend to, what I'm saying, fly high. But there's no need for all that. Let's keep it. What I'm saying? Let's just dumb it. Well, let's keep not necessarily dumbing it down. And here's something else too. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a conversation for everything. There's a level, you know what I'm saying? Two things can be true. This is why also you need to eat from the tree of life. What I was talking about when good and bad, they're not necessarily opposite. Not that they're not necessarily opposite. They're not opposite. You need both to be a fully complete. Even when you're looking at whatever you understand, you got to see the downside of it. This is what's being depicted. This is also what is also being said in the Lamb and the Lion will lay together. This is why that statement, man, the more you grow, the more you'll be able to see in it. I mean, the more you get out of it. That's that infinite wisdom. Oh man, once you in it, like man, come on, man. No, I need to say more. That's that water fountain that Jesus was talking about, man. That infinite wisdom. And the more you grow, the more, man, like that shit, for me, that's the blueprint of wisdom and of the universe and everything. So, what I'm also doing here too is allowing you to see it from different angles. Opposite comes together, must come together for you to be a full. That's what ma'at, for you to be fully completed or to be perfect. That's what perfection is referring to. All of that shit is being depicted or is being said in that little statement right there without saying it. Here's another aspect of power of words. So much that's being said without being said. It's incredible. That's the wealth of wisdom that you get in the power of words, nigga. This is infinite. This is not like, what I'm saying, I love you, I hate you. Like, this is how powerful words are. Fuck out of here. Fuck out. Okay. Well, to be fair, maybe that's one aspect of words. Of power of words. Oh, well, it's infinite. Well, I'm not gonna downplay it. Okay, fine. But if that's the only way you look at it, you don't truly know the power of words. Hmm. Obviously, you may have experienced it, but you're not conscious of it. This is why the name of the game is consciousness. The truth is already around you. All we're doing is waking up to it. And that's what you do through your oppositions, through your challenge, through your experiences. And this is why at the end of it all, then you realize all this time it was you. You have everything you need already. But that you're gonna have to wake up to. And that's what a lot of those spiritual teachers, I used to hear that shit too. It's like, yeah, 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 but you gotta see it for yourself though. And then that's when you go like, oh, that's what this motherfucker was talking about. Yeah, nigga. Yo, I gotta find a way. Like, yo, in Haiti, we used to have the saying, and this is one of my favorite ones. This is one of my favorite sayings. And and here's something else too. This is why I was raised in so many words. Oh, I gotta speak on that too. Oh man. Woo. Speaking of, you were born with everything. It's almost like as I became the light, I'm able to look back and look at, you know, how everything was positioned for this. That's when I realized there was no coincidence. That's when I realized I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is where I realized like I'm dancing with the universe. So I'm saying too much. But this is how, you successfully become one with the universe. You co-creating. And at that now, but anyway. So going back to that, you know, you had, like everything was set up correctly. Being raised in a family where I was illegally kidnapped, where these people wanted to inflict pain, destruction, and then on the flip side of it, there was a man, who didn't do too much, but did exactly what I needed. I was introduced early on to the power of words to this man, who I thought was my father, my biological father, but he was not. But anyway, some of the few things, and this is where I fell in love with the power of words and the love of wisdom myself. There used to be shit that he used to say, like, if you want to be as strong as an ox, don't eat the ox, but eat what the ox eats. So that already as a child, like, my light bulb was just, whoa. This is why I know for me, I was already getting my instructions. I was hands on with it. So that urge, that thirst, you know, like kind of evolved from there. But it was already in me too. This is how I know, when Jesus telling you too, man, like the light was among the darkness, but they couldn't recognize it. So for me, even though I didn't know what that meant, or, but when I heard it, there was something that was released in me. That was the call. I heard it. I heard the call, and not only that I heard it, but I answered it. That was the beginning of my journey. But I'm saying all of that to say, the power of opposites, the lamb or the lion or the wolf and the lamb shall sit together. So that was that, just to show you too, man. And because, you got to be loyal to the soil, depending what kind of soil you got. And those words were able to grow within me, man. That's when now, my pursuit of happiness started, so to speak. Me willing and wanting to sit among the elders now started. It was just, and then to realize at the end of it all, oh, well, not the end yet, motherfuckers, but, as this is beautifully coming together, and this is how I also got to understand the Trinity too, how it's being unfolded in my life to realize all this time it was all me. In the beginning was God, was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word becomes God, or the Word is God, however you want to put it together. But I'm also trying to get you to see the connection because for that to be meaningful, it has to connect to your life, or you need to connect to it. Vice versa, a connection has to be made. Are you following what I'm saying? But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of open conversations we're gonna leave open. So, small open conversations, we're gonna live them just like that. For you to fill in the blanks. But I was saying that to say, when you align your understanding with life understanding or the mental aspect of life, or what you see, this is why our ancestors used to worship nature. It's not nature necessarily, it's the wisdom of nature. Then now they have to say nature, and I understand why, because you have to materialize it. And here's something else too, is to materialize it without making an idol out of it. And that's what we did, and that's what you see when you see these things. Or even better yet, if this is too much for you, let's slow it down. When you look at the cross, when you hold the cross, what it represents, it's not idle. If you have the cross and you hold on to it, what you're doing or saying is you making the Christ visible. And this is why symbols is powerful. So just that symbol in itself, you don't have to say much about Christ. This is why symbols are more powerful than the power of words when it comes to speaking to your subconscious mind, because that's truly what the power of the word does. This is why you can't associate art with God neither. But anyway, that's down the line. That's a little more on the higher end of it, but it's all connected. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've been having a thirst to, go in lately. Really let niggas know we know some shit here, right? Don't sleep on that here. Don't let, you know what I'm saying, none of this fool you, nigga. hmm Dealing with the drunken master, man. Yeah, I'm that type of master, nigga. You think you got that? Yeah, touch me if you can. Meanwhile, I'm like that. Yeah, I don't see where I'm going. Yeah, it's like that. But anyway, man, I mean, the power of words, man. Like, I'm fucking enamored just by talking about this. That in itself is a whole conversation, and I'm still trying to, you know, tiptoeing around, what I'm saying, what we here for. But that in itself, and what we here for, I mean, shit, niggas. So, in conclusion, because I feel like, and here's something else too. This is a good, it's building a great foundation for what we're going to be talking about too. Then now you truly know, as how powerful this is going to be. If you already understand the power of words and how these things are being put together, the opposites, and also understanding esoteric meanings and the setup in esoteric, it's not meant for you to take it literal, but you would only know if there's something. And that's what I was telling you, for me, when Jesus said that for the first time, there was something in me that tells me, hey, it can't be literal. It was specifically said that way to resurrect or to help you to think outside of the box. That's what esoteric knowledge is. That's where the wisdom, that's where Gnostics or Sufism, what I'm saying, big part of Islam. Oh, that's what I forgot in one of my recording anyway. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about Rumi, and for a second, I forgot another spiritual teacher. Like, you mean to tell me, like, but anyway, what I was referring to is like a lot of his teachings, and then you get to see the similarities. This is why when you say this, it's only this book that tells the truth. I mean, this is strongly revealing mind control, man, because the truth is everywhere. I mean, if your God is everywhere, you have to show it literally. Like my God is everywhere. I'm showing it to you literally. I'm gonna show it to you in the fucking Bible. I'm gonna show it to you in Buddhism. I'm gonna show it to you in fucking voodoo. I'm gonna show it to you everywhere. But you would need to wake up to that. And that's the part of you, that's the Christ that needs to be awakened in you. This is why you cannot go into the kingdom of God without Christ. That's the awareness you need to have. Regardless of how you want to call it, Krishna, Buddha, that's the awakening, that's the wake up, that's the inner understanding, that's what you need to wake up to, that's the enlightenment, whichever one you want. Have fun. Have fun. Please yourself. Please yourself. The word must be made flesh. In other words, any type of knowledge must become wisdom. That's what the practicality in it is. That's what being a professional is. That's what, being a practitioner is all about. If you go to school to become a lawyer, guess what? You're going to have to practice that. That's what makes you a lawyer, right? Or if you're a doctor, whatever the fuck, carpenter, whatever the fuck. And now going back to also, because I was tapping into that, because a lot of us, we are, and again, I haven't, yo, everything I'm talking about here, because I don't want to put that statement in a box. Just so you guys know, I want you to get the bigger picture, right? But also to allow what's inside of you to speak. And that's the meaning of true education, being able to bring that shit out of you. That's why you need to eat from the tree of life. And here's something else too. There's a reason why you hear the name alchemist or magician when it comes to us. Because for you to be good at life, the word dancing with life, means, man, you got to co-create with it. Oh, I got something on that. Oh, I got something on that. That's gonna be on Lespri channel. So check that shit out because there's a wealth of wisdom in there. Wealth of wisdom. That's gonna be the next one. Mm, yeah, you know, because all you doing. But anyway, I'm not gonna go. That's gonna be in that. But now going back to what I was talking about in terms of what the fuck was I talking about? So much. So I mean, there's so many. Yeah. So it's all part of it. For you to fill it in. And that's what the power of words does. It brings it out of you. It's that man within you want to bring out. That's your Aladdin. That's the genie inside of you that needs to be released. That's the man within. That's the Christ consciousness. It's the mystery man. That's you. They call it mystique. In voodoo, we call it mystère, the unknown. So again, you choose. I'll show you. My God is everywhere. You just pick whichever one you want. Buddha, Jesus, voodoo, whichever one you want. Gnostics, you know what I'm saying? The truth is the truth, man. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Now, the lion or the wolf shall sit or will lay down with the lamb. My God. Well, I was gonna say, where do I start? I mean, I will try to start. I mean, I think that's what I've been doing, to be honest. Been trying to start, but then again, there's many ways. But to me, it's a powerful statement. So let me go back to how I was introduced to that for the first time. When I got to salute all of my ancestors and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? From a man, very powerful, eloquent brother. Man, a master, ascended master. all of that, all in one. You know what I'm saying? These are the niggas. I'm like, wow, man, your strength is giving me strength, brother. I'm gonna grow up and be just like you. You know what I'm saying? So when I first heard it, man, it was like, golly, the lion and the lamb shall sit together. Now this is balance, man. This is now that could be said, it's a wealth of wisdom. How do you want it? It's a matter of how do you want it. And for me, it's like it takes on so many different meaning as I'm growing as well. The importance of eating from the tree of life, the power of opposites, perfection, but most importantly, also you being the observer. This is my eye. That's the secret of the universe to me that is being revealed right then and there in that statement. And guess who's going to rule all of that shit? A little child, which is you. Until those two different aspects of you, and it could be seen on so many different levels, your masculine part and your feminine side, however you want to put it, until those opposites become one, they lay down together, until your perspective, to have a higher perspective, you got to see the good and the bad. This is why when you have a one-sided perspective, when you eat from the tree of good and evil, because that's what it does to you. It gives you a one-sided perspective. You're looking at life from a good or bad perspective. This is good, this is bad, this is pleasure, this is not pleasure. Or unpleasure, whatever the fuck. I'm Haitian, you know what I'm saying? To my defense. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, I'm doing shit. I'm doing fine if you ask me. Hmm. Mm. I'm doing good if you ask me. So don't even ask me. Talk your shit. Nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? But you. That's how it goes, man. So, yeah, man. So again, this is why, and on a side note, for those of you, because I know my message is gonna be for the one who are living, the living ones. And what that means is, who are practical, hands-on on that knowledge, who understand the knowledge has to be practical, must be made flesh, you know. So, you have to embrace, this is the mentality you need to embrace. The Indian call it, Godhead, or thinking godlike, is to adapt the mentality of the universe into your own life. And this is how, so to speak, you weather the storm in your own life. You're going through some bad situation, guess what? Through Christ, meaning the non-physical aspect of you, you weather the storm. Because now you know a spiritual aspect of yourself. Not having money doesn't define you, bro. You get to experience it all. That's what they're telling you. That's why having money and not having money does not define you. I'm getting a little deeper now. Hey, without warning you. Oh, this is your warning. And this is how knowing the truth about you is setting you free. This is why even hell or heaven is a state of mind. When you have a one-sided perspective, this is your hell. But when you eat from the tree of life, you are automatically in the kingdom of God right here, right now. Because now you are successfully able to bring that new heaven down with you by showing what it's like to live a divinely life. This is your testimony, the way you're living. I am a Jehovah Witness because this is what I'm testifying to. That those divine given rights that I'm applying into my life for you to see, for you to become, because it's inside of you. This is what the transformation is. This is why nobody can save you. Or we could show you the door. That's what all of our ancestors been doing, showing you the motherfucking door. In fact, better than that, we show you our transformation. That's what you see when Moses somehow, the 40 days and the 40 nights, or with Job, then you come out, what I'm saying, with, what I'm saying, either, with a lot of beard. It's showing you now you became wiser, not necessarily old in age, you know what I'm saying? But now you become wiser. You go up the mountain, you go down now, giving the commitments. That's what I'm doing with you niggas too. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you the keys to the wisdom of God, man. The blueprint. And that's what all of our ancestors did. But then again, it's been around you. You got to wake up to it. Hmm. Hmm. Another way of saying that, you have to accept it. That's what it means truly. Do you accept Jesus as your personal savior? Esoteric people, not literal. When you accept that spiritual aspect of yourself, that's how you're being born again. And you'll never go back to the way you used to be, because now the truth, when you know about your subconscious mind, your reality will never be the same. And in so many words, that's what transition is. Transcendence, I meant to say, not transition. Transcending is. Again, what I'm saying? Bear with your Haitian kid, you feel me? Man, alright. Bear with me, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hype me up, nigga. Support a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Relax, man. You ain't gotta do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just, get what I'm saying. You feel me? Don't judge me, nigga. Mm. Mm. Well, you could do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Take it easy. That'd be too harsh. Then again, it's on you. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about here, man, like, again, yeah, this is why spirituality is practicality, man. And also, going back to what I was talking about, this is why the so called chosen ones, because this is Earth school, beam, and God is funny too. It puts you in opposite directions. That's why a lot of us, I know for me, I had to meet a lot of douchebag for me to know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Even with the family I was raised, you had to be raised with these fucked up individuals for me to get it right. Oh, you see the constant marriage? And this is why, too, when you understand that, that's why for me personally, I don't have any personal hate, but justice, just like everything else, must, what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just like I planted my seed, the seed that I planted, I will shit. There's no doubt in that. You know what I'm saying? Every man has to stand up. You have to weigh your action, man. You gotta answer yourself, whether you want it or not. You putting judgment on yourself every motherfucking day, whether you know it or not. This is why understanding the subconscious mind plays a big key, and your life will never be the same. When you understand your subconscious mind now, then you understand guess who's in charge. And that's what taking accountability is. It's to know that you are in charge, good or bad. Then when you know you're in charge, guess what happens? When shit goes out of your control, what do? You give it to God, nigga. To what you don't so I mean to what you don't see, the invisible. You stay in control. In other words, you endure, you experience it without giving in to it. And you do the same thing with your manifestation too. I will talk about that. I mean, that's how you dance with the constant want it but don't want it. Again, the lion and the lamb, it takes place on so many different layers. That's why they would also tell you, man, you want it even in the game of life. You want it, but you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to stand firm. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I'll give you, if I'm using myself, right? Well, I am using myself. Like, I, I want love, I need love, but I'm not gonna get it because of just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the perfect balance you gotta have. Do you want it? Yes. Are you gonna settle over? No. And then those two must come together. They must slide together. You know what I'm saying? And they are being ruled by who? This little child. You see what I'm saying? And that this is the dance you must maintain. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But stay tuned for that. I'm already giving out, you know what I'm saying? What else you want from me, man? Everything I do is for you. Literally. Understand that and put it in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's for you, man. It's really for you. I'm saying I'm not selling a product, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's my personal shit. Mm, I will be selling product. Well, I do 101. You know what I'm saying? Consultations. I don't know if I want to do readings yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. We don't know. But anyway, so, but I'm saying all of that to say, shit, nigga. Even if I'm doing that, it's still gonna be for you. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, man. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Your life will never be the same. And this is how you transcend matter just by knowing who you are. When you know who you are, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like when you know, like for me, I know I'm fucking energy. So then, whole death, where's your victory? Do you see how it works? And because I know the spiritual aspect of me, I also know, you know what I'm saying? That's why I can't let, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can money be everything? Mm-hmm. It can be. And if you think so, guess what? Here's something else too. That's why you have to know your nature. Then you'll do anything for it. The people who do anything for money, that's because money is their idol. This is why you need the divine in your life. That's why I always tell people, like, this thing for me is very practical, man. And as you guys will get to know me and as more things will be revealed in the future, like for me, like this is really a practicality. Like this shit really saved my life. Literally. Do you see what I'm saying? So I know the power of God or having God in your life. You gotta have it. That's what help you balance. This is how, what I'm saying, like they say, the fruit of the spirit. Then now you have compassion for others. But all of that is how you are aligning your thinking. That's why it's important for you to understand the difference between thinking and a state of mind. By the way, it's in my other channel. Check that shit out. You need to develop to adopt a Godhead mentality. It's your state of mind. All is mental because our interpretation of what life is from our own understanding. To speak of life, and when you're talking on like, yeah, man, life is this, life is that, you're not talking about the trees, nigga. You're talking about the lessons, the experience. So to speak of life, that in itself, this is why you need to become aware. You're not conscious of what you're saying. That's why consciousness is the name of the game. Or nor of that's just why when you pay attention to you, that's why when I talk about spirituality, is you. And all we are doing, call it spiritual masters or healers, call it prophet, call it whatever the fuck, is helping us to wake up more to our own potentials. This is why also, in this realm is a very special realm. I get it now where when they're saying, Earth is very important. I get it. Because there is so much going on here in a short period of time. This is where lesson is taking place. You have good and bad all at the same time. This is why they call it Earth School, man. This is the learning. When they say, not to judge book by its cover, this is life in itself. This is how you live in life. In other words, for me to get to know you, for you to get to know me, you got to go beyond what I look like. And for the same thing, that's what living the fucking illusion is. You know what I'm saying? Then if I were to tell you, hey man, you can't choose a bitch because she got a fat ass. There's more to that. That's what you have to learn. Then now when you become born again, then you start looking at life from that perspective. And then automatically it helps you to bypass a fat ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? It helps you to get your head out of your ass. That's why spirituality and having God divinity is your sanity. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not falling for the fucking illusion. And this is what the overall spiritual or spirituality from different sacred, that's the overall same message. Wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? Wake up. hmm Every time you're getting a aha moment, those are you. This is you collecting pieces of you. So you need a lot of those ahas moments for you to become like whenever you fully be up, nigga. But anyway, man, that's the blueprint. You see what I'm saying? the lion or the wolf and the lamb shall sit together, man. They must lie together. Not even shall or will, they must for you to attain perfection. Isn't that what they tell you? How, all the animals gonna be friendly? You'll be playing, everybody will be playing together. This is when you know you are in the kingdom of God, in heaven. It's a state of mind. When the guy said, "Hey, Jesus, don't forget," Jesus telling that nigga, right here, right now, you here, nigga. It's a state of mind. It's not a destination. So when you're looking at it from a destination, you're taking away from the actual moment. And if you're not in the moment, how the fuck you gonna go anywhere? You know what I'm saying? This is being in the moment. That's what the experience is. That's where the growth is taking place. That's what being aware is. That's why the name of the game, consciousness. And to be conscious, you got to be in the moment. This is where the dancing, your connection with life, you're seeing God everywhere, you being cosmic, it's all about. And being awakened, it's all about. The fuck, niggas. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, in other words, spirituality provides you with the best manual for you to be the best version of yourself. This is why spirituality is not taboo. It's not, what I'm saying, the monks. It's not the shaman. It's every fucking body. And no disrespect to no monks, none of that shit. If anything, namaste all that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The Islam, Allah Rakba, all that shit. We respect all of that, man. Because we understand the deeper meaning behind anything. You know what I'm saying? How can a man of God who's speaking of God, man? And if you're of God, how can you go against that? How do you go against a man who's speaking integrity, love, if you're of love and integrity yourself? This is why Christianity is questionable, man. But then again, once you get to see the truth, do not throw the Bible away. There's a bunch of fucking information in there. It's esoteric knowledge. Because that's what I did, because it's almost like, oh man, you finally wake up and then you realize you were under a spell. But relax. This is where you need to build on your mastery. This is not about choosing a side. This is not about none of it. It's your overall growth or development. If your God is not doing that for you, how good is your God in your life? You know, with my God, that's how I get to transform. And of course, it's not necessarily my God, but it's just a way of me saying, because people always have their interpretation. Call it whatever you want. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why a man of knowledge or a man of God, you're always going to be respected no matter where you go, man. Do you see what I'm saying? So integrity is better the way you said it. You know what I'm saying? Like you only have the light over there and everywhere else is darkness. You arrogant, selfish motherfucker. And now I need to follow you for me to find that light. Fuck out of here, man. But the true light, once you have it, though, you see it everywhere. Those who are truly of the light, when you become of the light, you see it everywhere, even in power shit. To the pure, all is pure. Another one of my. I love this. Take that with you. Regardless on how pragmatic you may think you are, your life is gonna be a reflection of your subjectivity, sir, ma'am. Regardless of what you think is logical or you're seeing it from, you know what I'm saying, from the most whatever perspective, it's still coming out of your mouth, man. From your perspective. That's why common sense, because not everybody sees it that way. And it requires a certain level of understanding. Then now it could be common based on the same level of understanding that we have. You feel me? So all of that is testifying and showing you everything is mental. And that's very important for you to understand because, for you to become Christ like, to be born again, this is the knowledge that you need to have. This is the darkness that you're going to have to delve into, the part of you that you don't see. Oh, you got to get into the mystery, man. And as you do so, guess what? You're going to become it. You know? So, man, so again, on so many different layers and perspective, the lion or the wolf must lay down with the lamb. And when you become mature, and it's the same thing too. Again, on so many different levels. The lion, the wolf could be looked at the predator or the strong aspect of yourself. With your weakness, they must come together. Your strength and your weakness must come together. In fact, to acknowledge your weakness, that's when you become strong. Acknowledging your weakness is your strength because there's so many different things that you could do from there. You can improve it, you could protect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you got to know who you are. However the fuck you want to dissect it. This is why for you to become whole, even for you to become Christ-like, in my Lespri channel, I always tell you guys, hey man, I help you to become mentally and emotionally balanced. The lion and the lamb, your higher self and your weakness must come together. And as they come together now, your job is to observe and experience it. And as you do so, this is when now, you know, it's being controlled by you. There's nothing wrong. Let's just say if you're having bad thoughts, you can have bad thoughts, you can have good thoughts. Let's just use that for lack of better, term, right? Those little angels you have on your shoulder? You need to have both of them. They got to stand there, and then for you to be in the middle of it and then observing them. But for you to do that, then you would have to understand there are two sides of the same coin. This is truly why, what I'm saying, you have to experience poverty too. I know for me, that's why they tell you your opposition is your best teacher. Do you see what I'm saying? It's your best teacher. There's something losing does to a man. You know what I'm saying? It's just incredible. Who was talking about that? What was that guy? Tony? What? No, it's not Tony. Tom Brady. He was talking about how he capitalized more on his loss than he did with his win. Do you notice? You know who else says that? The guy with the light bulb, whatever the fuck. They said he was failing. Like no, 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 no. It was just I learned different ways of doing that. The underlying understanding that all of these motherfuckers who have successfully succeeded because they have mastered those two, they understand they must come together. That's why your approach to this life, you should approach this as a scientist. That's why you hear, oh, this is Earth School, right? What are you learning? Well, the opposites. This is how you're going to grow without falling into the bullshit. In one of my recordings in my Lespri channel, where I was talking about, your problems, it's not necessarily meant for you to have a fucking solution for it. The overall objective, your problem is giving you a better insight. So when you start living your life from that inner man perspective, the outer world has nothing on you. Every challenge for me, this is why even the people who try to sabotage my life, you know what I'm saying? I ended up using everything they throw at me. They throw stone at me, and I build me like a fucking a state with that shit. Because your growth and development is gonna come from opposition. This is why you need to have them, man. You gotta have them, and you have to rewire your mind to accept it and to love it. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I mean, you're still going to feel the pain, but think about it. Like for me, the way my analogy with it, it's like going to the gym. You lifting a heavy weight. Is it heavy? Do you feel it? Yeah. I'm gonna come back tomorrow though. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna do some push-ups so I could hit that. That's my mentality with it. No, we ain't giving up on nothing, man. What? We're gonna figure it out, nigga. That's what you put in front of my way? That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. You gotta give me more. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Like the Bernie Mac, man. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I'm here to do, man. I ain't scared of none of you motherfuckers. Crazy? Saying nothing scary about you. You know what I'm saying? You throwing rocks and hiding your hand. What's scary about that? Mm-mm. If I'm gonna be scared of anybody, you know what I'm saying? You would have to come to my face and make me scared, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing that, man, you pussy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be in your face though. I'll be in your face, because I take more pleasure. Like that's why I don't like to stick a knife behind somebody's back, man. I don't know. It's so coward to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm more passionate with my shit. I gotta look at you in the eye as I'm sticking it to you. How do you feel? Is that okay? How about right here? How about right there? If I'm gonna stick it to you, oh man, and I want you to look at me in the eyes too. You know what I'm saying? It's more pleasurable that way, at least to me. That's why for me, I don't even know why you even doing this. Why are you doing it? So obviously, like you can't do nothing good, not even crime. I mean, you suck in life, and you doing crime. You're not even good at that. You're just a loser, man. Even in my situation, man, to be honest with you guys, bro, I'm more mad at how they plan to deal with me rather than what happened to me. I'm more mad about that. Like, you can't be this stupid. I'm more mad at that rather than how they try to attack me and doing all that. So I'm saying all that to say, I'm more psychotic than you. If you think I'm crazier than you. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because hey, man, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing you could do better than me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you can't do nothing better than me. You're not a better liar than me. You're not better nothing than me. Hmm. Just like not even the devil is a better liar than God. That's what I always tell them. You know what I'm saying? Because just when you think you know, and then God always shows up and show you how much you don't know. Like, oh yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be more trickier than God. Trust and believe. Why do you think they have tricksters, man? And this is what I tell them too, man. I play dumb, but I've never been a fool. I am as wise as a wolf, as a serpent. You know, those are two different wisdom right there. Well, it's in three. As wise as an owl too, as cunning as a fox, as bold as a lion, and having the state of mind of a dog, man. This is who you're dealing with. This is who you're dealing with, man. Be careful. Tread lightly. It will be best for you. Well, obviously, too late anyway. Wasting my motherfucking time. Mm. But anyway, going back to what we're talking about here, guys. Man, those opposites must come together. Even in yourself, your appetite and your crave, you know what I'm saying? What you're craving and the balance, they must come together. And this is true balance. In other words, even like for me, I fast. So I learn how to stay hungry without eating. And like I always tell you guys too, man, I never allow a full stomach to make me forget the wisdom of an empty stomach. Because there's wisdom in it. When they ask me, why do you fast? That's what I tell them. The wisdom of an empty stomach, bro. You know? And that's what fast is, bro. And you need that in your life. I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You know? There's a reason why in every, you know what I'm saying? I definitely get it. I get it, man. That's why fasting is part of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's deeper than what you guys think, man. And truly you get to acknowledge a lot about you. This is why you get closer to God. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is also why, too, man, as you're doing your shadow work, what you truly do, what you need to do is not to criticize yourself or to shame certain part of yourself. They all must come together. To be toxic is not to acknowledge your emotions, bro, or the emotion that needs to be acknowledged. There's power in that. This is why sometimes, when you understand those different aspects of yourself, what do? You bring it to light. Even name them if you want. It would be even better. Because now you could address that part of you specifically. Do you see what I'm saying? Then now you're having an interaction with it. It's extremely healthy. That's what healthy people do. And this is why, again, like I was saying, to acknowledge to know your limitation is your strength. It's powerful. So then again, what is strength? Do you see why you need to eat from the tree of life? But most importantly, the lion and the lamb must come together. Those opposites, however you want to call it. Okay, Jesus powerful, and then now he becomes, what I'm saying, the sacrificial lamb, however you want to put it. You're dealing with two opposites that come together. Lion, wolf, who the fuck cares? Well, I guess, it's, if you're going by what the Bible says, I get it. Listen, do you see how you see how the letter that it's supposed to set you free can also fuck you up depending on you? So would you tell me, because the Bible did not use lion, it did say wolf. Let's just say if I'm saying lion, the understanding is not valid. Do you see how crazy that is? Or if you even see if it's crazy. I mean, I think we should start there. Let's not let's not I'm not gonna make an ass out of myself. So I'm not gonna assume that. Is there anything crazy there? Mm. You see what I'm saying? The understanding, man, is what you need. And that's what's gonna set you free. And if you are focusing on the understanding, guess what? A lion or a wolf, doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at the picture, if there's a picture, this is why now let's take it up a notch for you guys. If you were to have that symbol at your house, or you have a painting that shows that, it's the quickest way just by you looking at that to remind yourself or to strengthen yourself about remembering. In other words, honor your weakness. Your strength and your weakness should come together. So you can have that as a symbol. And this is what our ancestors understood. That's why we had symbols. That's what these things we used them. Not worshiping idols, but you use them to trigger or to elevate something greater in us. That's what you see in those statues. So if you were to look at just that picture in itself, that's why they tell you a picture is worth what? A million or whatever word. Because there's a lot that's being displayed, that's being said. It's up to your interpretation, and depending on what type of person you are, and it's the same thing that you see taking place with this here, the very conversation that I'm having here. But also, I'm also using that too to show you, what I'm saying? Like when you talk about, when you're using these things, whatever the fuck you use, and this is why our ancestors understood, this is why this is not worshiping idols. Or if you were to have a painting of that, this is where the understanding comes in. So now it reminds you, it speak quicker to your mind and then like to others as a reminder. And then as you know that, it either strengthens something in you, and then as a, whatever, you carrying that energy. Now you make it visible. Not just visible now, it becomes actualized in your life. It's no longer dormant. Because what is dormant, you don't pay attention to. That's what dormant is, it's in the darkness. You want to bring it to light to your consciousness. Then you make a person out of it. to sustain that very light inside of you. That's what this is. That's what we use it for. That's why every great man or great civilization or great mind, we understand that. That's why you will see statue wherever shit. Like in my house, nigga, you already know. Because I understand the science behind it. But people who are talking about worshiping idol, you the one worshiping idol. Because now you're saying you're not using none of this. Cool. Fine. Then, how are you using God? What are you using God for? Your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are, like, what the fuck? You don't claim, you know what I'm saying? But yet, even in your church, the car that you're driving, that's what you go by. That's what identifies you. That's what worshiping idol is. Your mind is consumed more by, what I'm saying? You worship creatures instead of the creator. That's why you followers. A lot of you guys are followers. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, going back to the lamb. Oh shit, it's over an hour, man. So let me, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's summarize this here real quick, which I don't even think needs to be summarized. But we talked about the power of words. We also talked about, oh man, hopefully you guys should be able to hear me because it's something tripping at times. I don't give a fuck. It'll be posted anyway. It'll be published anyway. So, yeah, man, to master yourself, to get into the kingdom of God, these two things must come together. And if now your interpretation of it is in a physical sense, meaning, when the kingdom of God comes or when Jesus come back, then the animal is going to be together. Well, that's what this is saying. So for you, obviously, Jesus has not came back, but for others or for myself, I mean, Jesus is already here. Not to say I am him. I'm just, not trying to say that. Not just me. A lot of our ascended masters, that's who they are. Who's giving you the gospel, who's giving you things for you to better yourself. Those are all form of Christ consciousness. And this is why you also see too, and even your Bible story showing it to you. Who are those Pharisees, those religious people? This is what you have today. Those are the same people. You know what I'm saying? With the Christ consciousness, Jesus was never revered. In fact, you know what I'm saying? And this is what you see. Again, and this is why, like, for me, and people say that, and it's true, if Jesus were to come back, you'll be the first one to stone him. You won't even know because you're not of it. These are things you have to wake up to. And then once you see it for yourself, then of course you try to say it to somebody else, but know that they have to see it for themselves too. This is why, for me as a spiritual healer, the only thing I could do is to hold the mirror of wisdom for you to see you. Can you see the similarities, even in the Matrix showing you the door? It's all the same shit because it takes you. Even though everybody might be doing what you're doing, but you have to agree to it. Until you find you or you doing what you're doing, then that's just the way it goes. It's you. And I think this is one of the deepest thing that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, need to wake up to. And once you do, when you understand you are the one building your life, you also the one destroying your life. But that shit is very subtle. Every action that you're not conscious of, everything, it's either adding to you or it's that the name of the game is consciousness. So again, man, the wealth of wisdom that is in that statement and how it could be looked at from so many different perspectives. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, however you choose to look at it, you're looking at two opposition, whether you want to call, Jesus the lion with all the forces and everything, who came as a lamb, not using his forces, you showing the association of opposites. Now, if you want to look at it from a predator and a prey perspective, because the lion would definitely eat the lamb, then from them to sit together, then that's balance, but also acknowledgement. It could be seen in so many different ways. This is as me, like, just like I was saying, knowing how to fast on an empty stomach, even when you're hungry. I mean, I am accustomed to it now, so I don't really have that, burn I used to have in the very beginning of it. But that's what you're gonna have to go through if you choose to do that. Two things can be true at the same time, bro. And this is the overall understanding that you need to embody. This is why that statement is a powerful statement. And regardless on how you're growing, you always, oh man. In fact, the more you grow, the better this is gonna be. It aged like fine wine. And that's what true wisdom does. And this is the unlimited wealth. This is the water that Jesus was telling you about, nigga. It opened up, you tasted, it opened up a whole fountain in front of you. I mean, inside of you. That's the word of God. That's the essence. That's what's inside of you, man. Are you listening? Are you following? But anyway, man, with all of that being said, man, I hope, those words will carry you. I hope they will, develop your insights. They wouldn't put you in a box, but instead they will help you to go outside of the box and for you to be the best version of yourself. And definitely, last but not least, you have to acknowledge the power of words, baby. Let this, oh man, let that interact with you. You know what I'm saying? And indulge in it. You see what I'm saying? Meditate on that. Because this is where you're gonna get those aha moments and it will open up, you know, portal in you, additional aspect of yourself. And with all that being said, Haitien, Brau, Male, love you motherfuckers, man. Nothing but love, baby.